Good afternoon, Mr. Rakesh and fellow students. Today we are going to talk about sustainability beyond the pandemic. We are from Group 5. My name is Ng Rija and my group mates are Wei Jun, Nicole and Parvin. First and foremost, I'll kickstart the presentation with how has the COVID affected the event industry. COVID-19 pandemic have had a profound impact on the event industry, and it also changed how the COVID-19 has been viewed and understood around the world. The COVID-19 pandemic has struck the live event industries with unexpected intensity, making it one of the worst affected industry. Numerous important live events were cancelled in 2020, as were many live event companies, and an unprecedented number of jobs were lost in the creative and event industries. For example, the continuation of several big athletic events in spring 2020 sparked controversy in the United Kingdom, while the cancellation of events was an evident manifestation of the increased limits on personal mobility. The main preventative strategies of the social distancing and banning gatherings represent the contrast situation to an important features of events, which is the gathering of people in one area. The restriction of social activity has caused the event entrepreneurs to lose their source of income, and a lot of employees were forced to quit their jobs. In general, the experience of the pandemic among public sector organizations involved in events, on the other hand, has been largely disregarded, particularly the difficulty they have experienced in harmonizing their numerous duties and obligations. Furthermore, events and event management are often considered as non-essential products and services, which lead to addressing industry difficulties and ultimately reopening the sector last. These contrasting phenomena make the sector more vulnerable and risky. Next, I'll pass to Parvin for the next part.
Thank you, Rija. I'm Parvin, and now for my part, I'll be discussing some of the examples of sustainable events that were held in Malaysia during the pandemic. The first event on the list will be the Cooler Earth Sustainability Summit 2021 by CIMB Malaysia. The event took place from 23rd till 27 November last year with a mission to convene global citizens, experts and key stakeholders to deliberate on what they could have done today as an individual and as a business to shape a better sustainable tomorrow. Besides that, the event also aimed to encourage participants to embrace sustainability and take actions towards shaping a kinder society and less sweltering planet. The next event on the list will be the Green International E-Conference 2020, which was conducted virtually, whereby the link will be sent to the presenters as well as the participants through email. The objective of this forum is to generate knowledge through the exchange of ideas and sharing the latest developments in the field of renewable energy technology. The last event on the list will be the Garbage to Garden, also known as G2G. In honor of World Environment Day, EcoNice has organized an online workshop on the 20th of June that focuses on ways to repurpose our food waste rather than throwing it away, which could cause environmental damage. According to Tonini et al., food wastage has caused a huge negative impact on the environment as food demands land use, energy and chemicals as well as materials in order to be produced and delivered to the different actors involved in the food supply chain. Besides that, it also produces heavy carbon footprints as well. When food is disposed in a landfill, it rots and becomes significant amount of methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas with 21 times the global warming potential of carbon dioxide.
Thank you, Parvin. So for my part, I will discuss about how has the industry changed and adapted. Firstly, the event sector was forced to come up with alternatives to continue business. So before the pandemic took over our lives, all events were hosted physically and had face-to-face interactions. However, things changed after the pandemic, whereby many businesses were forced to rethink their service strategy and analyze the best methods of sustainability. Paris 2021. The worldwide events industry was collapsing under the weight of extraordinary circumstances, causing considerable hardships in the sector. Several organizations, however, attempted to adapt and innovate at this time, taking advantage of the opportunity to produce new goods, build features, and explore undiscovered markets. By using the Technology Acceptance Model or TAM model that was developed by Fred Davis in 1986, the TAM model is used to understand the general determinants of technology acceptance, which also leads to an understanding of users' behavior across a wide range of end-user computing system and user groups, like 2017. The fundamental TAM model comprises and tested two distinct beliefs: perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. Perceived usefulness is defined as the potential user find the technology useful. For example, using a single app or website to host the event to reach more targeted audience. Whereas perceived ease of use is the degree to which the potential user expects the target system to be simple to use. Next, the event sector has implemented technology into the sector to increase customer satisfaction and experiences by having hybrid event, augmented reality, and virtual reality. The use of augmented reality (AR) and virtual reality (VR) for customer experience (CX) is increasing in various industries. According to studies, the AR and VR market is predicted to increase by $125 billion over the next 4 years, JEF 2021. Brands have begun to creatively utilize AR and VR to enhance customer experiences in recent years, offering an added level of immersion while operating at a distance. This dynamic was especially important in the context of social distancing in response to the COVID-19 outbreak. VR refers to a customer's total immersion in a new digital environment, whereas AR refers to an overlaying of digital features into reality to produce an enhanced perception of the world. The event organizer must deliver a good event performance as it can lead to a memorable and positive experiences or satisfaction for the event attendees as well as achieving the event goals. Visitors seek for social psychological benefits such as entertainment, activities, and shows to hold the visitors' interest and enticing the satisfaction. Ramli et al. 2018. The higher level of attendee satisfaction is likely to be influenced by the higher level quality performance in facility provision, programming, and service. When the event can achieve the satisfaction of the attendees, it creates joy and motivation for the attendees to come back for future events. So that's all for my part. I'll pass it on to Pawan. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Now Rija and I will be discussing about the pros and cons of sustainable events. As we can see from the slides, the pros of sustainable events are environmental impact, inclusion and equality, as well as raising awareness. Firstly, sustainable events can minimize much of the environmental impact. This reduces waste generation and ensures proper waste management, as well as lowering water and electricity consumption and mitigating air, noise, and light pollution. Catering companies, for example, are required to avoid packaging and use reusable tableware and dishes. Other than that, sustainable event also aims to leave a positive legacy for the community. To that end, they promote inclusion and equal opportunities by hiring equal number of men and women and simultaneously translating them into a sign language. They also promote barrier-free access for people with limited mobility and help the local economy by hiring local businesses. Next, sustainable events will be a good platform to raise awareness. As to what we discussed earlier about the examples of sustainable events held during the pandemics, one of the common factors why the organizers have chose organizing sustainable events is because it can greatly raise awareness. That is all for my part, and I'll now pass it to Rija.
Thank you, Pavin. I'll be taking over for the part about cons of sustainable events. The first disadvantage would be it might need significant initial investment and can be costly for businesses. Some eco-friendly products may potentially be extremely costly, for example to reduce electricity usage by a power station which emits hundreds of megawatts of electricity, instead for sustainable purposes, installing solar panels for mega events. However, the initial cost of purchasing a solar system is fairly high. Aside from installation fees, there are also additional expenses connected with operating and maintaining a PV solar array. Aside from cleaning the panels on a regular basis, inverters and batteries usually need to be replaced after a few years of operation. Secondly, implementing sustainable events might push up the price of products and services. In some circumstances, switching to green materials for sustainable events may result in greater expenses in the manufacturing process or elsewhere in the facility. The greater cost must either be passed on to customers in the form of higher pricing or must come at the expense of the company in the form of lower profit margin on its product. In this case, the price of the sustainable event tickets will rise as the cost rise. Based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, implementing sustainable events consider the top of the pyramid, self-fulfillment need. Most of the consumer will consider the price first as their psychological needs and basic needs to be fulfilled. Therefore, to avoid the cost price exceeding the expectation of consumers, businesses would rather not implement sustainable events as it will affect the outcome. Lastly, green and sustainable infrastructure might not be confined in certain countries. Although the range of eco-friendly items has substantially risen over the last decade, the selection of eco-friendly products is still quite limited, and going green may be difficult in some areas. This may mean that to achieve sustainable events, there might be a need of importing certain infrastructure or technology that only other countries have, which can be time-consuming too. And next, I'll pass to Wei Jun for the last part.
Thank you, Rija. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lee Wei-jun. Now, I will talk about the future recommendations for the event industry. The first recommendation is organizing hybrid events. Hybrid events formats vary and there's no definite model to replicate. However, by hosting hybrid events, event planners can get the best of both worlds. The higher reach and accessibility of virtual events and the intimacy of in-person events. Secondly, is health and safety focus. As previously mentioned, the risk of COVID-19 will still be very much present in the organizer minds in the near future. Therefore, health and safety will surely be a top priority for hybrid events. Health and safety encompass various measures such as socially distanced seating, mask wearing, vaccination certificates, and negative COVID-19 test results. Nevertheless, health and safety measures should not only be implemented but communicated effectively. Indeed, organizers should make these preventive measures and health and safety protocols clear, addressing them consistently before the event and on-site. Thirdly, is networking between virtual and in-person attendees. A rising trend among hybrid event organizers is implementing strategies and technologies to connect virtual and in-person attendees. Still, bridging the gap between both audiences of a hybrid event can be tricky. On the one hand, most in-person attendees are at the venue to network with other in-person attendees, not to connect with virtual attendees. On the other hand, virtual attendees are usually eager to network with in-person attendees. In that context, organizers turn to event mobile apps, utilizing matchmaking, social feeds, and networking rooms to connect both audiences. Additionally, some events are offering attendees technology such as hovering video call robots controlled by remote attendees or robots equipped with tablets and displaying a live video with virtual attendees. Last but not least is having smooth and contactless check-in solution. When hosting hybrid event, organizers strive to deliver an excellent experience for in-person attendees who have taken the time and effort to travel to the venue. The check-in process is at the very start of the experience and should be as seamless and safe as possible. In their life, event planners are ramping up their investment in fast contactless check-in solutions that minimize queues and person-to-person contact. This includes a digital pass with an encrypted QR code for each attendee, self-service badge printing, or facial recognition scans. That's all for my part. Now, I will show the references that we use for this assignment.
Now, we will move on to learning outcomes. From this particular assignment, I have learned how crucial it is for the event tourism sector to be sustainable. Not only that, the soft skills that I learned through this assignment are teamwork and in-depth research skills.
For the learning outcome of this assignment, I have learned the importance of event sustainability as well as discovered some of the sustainable events that took place during the pandemics.
From this assignment, I have learned more about the event sector and how it is continuously changing in the world of technology. And I've also increased my knowledge on the TAM model and how to use it.
The learning outcome that I earned from this assignment is to improve my research skill, as I need to do a lot of research to find the suitable points for the assignment. Besides that, after doing this assignment, I gained new knowledge about the future recommendation that could apply to the event industry. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.